Hey everyone, before this video starts, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the Nashville, the Airbnb that we have stayed in and recorded all of these episodes in. This Airbnb is so amazing. Alex and Spencer have done such an awesome job with this. If you are coming to Nashville, make sure you check out this Airbnb. We were close to walking distance to downtown, restaurants, bars. Everything was so amazing and so cute. So make sure you check out the link in the description below and book your trip to Nashville. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty School Bobbi. Today I'm here with Melody Coker back in Nashville, Tennessee for our second episode. And I am so excited to talk to you because you've had some big life changes since the last time that we saw you. So you are now the proud owner of Lenora
Hair Lounge.
Yes. Love.
Yes, it is amazing.
So you've moved into a suite.
Yes, I have.
And so this has been kind of an ongoing theme of the show and of the podcast is talking about this transition from a bigger salon or from a commission salon into a suite. So I wanted to get firsthand your perspective of what that's been like for you. And so I want to hear all about it. So you ended up leaving the salon that you were at in January?
I left in November. Actually,
okay.
I was like, when did I leave? November. I left the first week of November, and it doesn't feel like it's already been, 3 months now?
Yeah.
So it's already flown by, but yeah, I left in November. So right before the holiday hustle.
Yes. So how soon did you have downtime, or how soon were you able to get in? Because you're in a solo suite.
Mm-hmm.
And so how long did it take you to transition into that?
So they actually were going to remodel the suite I was moving into. So if I wanted to move in as it was, essentially, I could have moved in that week if I wanted to. But they asked me if I wanted the updated features that the new studios were getting. And I was like, yes, please.
Yeah,
that would be great.
So smart.
So it took them about 2 months to get everything and then get it in there and do whatever. So I guess about 2 months by the time I finally got moved in, once they had everything. It didn't take them long to get it in there once they had it. It just took them a minute to actually get it.
Yeah.
But I was able to move in fairly quickly. And so really by the time it was move-in ready, I was moved in within a week and starting.
I'm so impatient. I feel like I would have waited, or I would not have waited. And been like, and then when I saw the upgrades, I would have been like, no, I want that one.
Like, I should have done that.
Yes. Yeah. So that's so smart. So tell me what your setup is like. Like, what does your room look like? What do you have in each room? Like, what are you equipped with?
So I have like a stand-behind shampoo bowl, which was one of the updates because the former studio, the older model, had it in the wall. And I was like, I have never stood in front of somebody. I always want to stand behind them, which makes me sound so spoiled.
Yeah.
But so that was one of the updates that came with it. And I have a full-length mirror and a station cart, and I have a huge cabinetry with the second sink that I can throw all my dishes into, and I can get back to it later, essentially, without having to only work with one bowl.
Yeah.
So, and it's a pretty large space. I've got like a mini fridge set up and a coffee station, and I have a waiting area and a processing area. So I've got a pretty good large space.
Awesome.
And I have a huge window.
Yay! That's awesome.
Yes.
And I know we were just talking, and your sister's working in the same plaza as you, so you also have her like next door to you now, which is amazing at Crumble. So like best case scenario, cookies all the time.
Couldn't be better. She walks over with crumble cookies all the time, and then I just give them to my guests that are there, so they kind of get the setup in that way. So I'm like, I can't eat all these cookies. And she goes, we had extra, so here you go. And I'm like, oh,
thanks.
That's perfect. So, but yeah, I couldn't be better there too. So.
Yeah. So how was it adjusting to being alone in a suite? Has there been a moment of you being like, hey, I'm
I
all
actually
alone?
don't feel alone. As weird as that sounds. So just truth be told, where I'm at, everyone, that location of a solo studio has been there apparently close to 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Which I did not know that until I moved in. And a lot of the stylists or other business owners in there, because there's a little bit of everything in the beauty industry there, they've been there 10, 15, 20 years.
Wow.
And so I'm kind of just fresh meat in there, honestly. So my first week in there, it's like my door did not exist. They just kept letting themselves in, which was fine. I just didn't know what to expect. And they're just like, hi, you're new. Yeah. Where are you from? Are you married? Do you have kids? Do you have that, this, that, and the other? And I was just basically giving an interview to all of them, but they're super sweet. So I don't actually feel alone because they still will just let themselves in, and they're just like, hi, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm doing extensions. And they're like, that's so cool. I want to watch. And I'm like, okay. That's fine.
Awesome.
So I don't really feel alone, even though I kind of am supposed to be, but I don't feel alone at all. And everyone in there has been so sweet.
Yeah.
So it's been awesome.
So nice. I feel like that makes the transition so much easier as well. So going into a suite, so that means that now you're paying like weekly rent. And so instead of like a commission, so for those who don't know, a normal or a typical salon is like commission split.
Yes.
And then so now you're doing everything on your own. So that means that you are in charge of like getting all of your products and inventory and booking all of your appointments and stuff.
Every bit of it.
Yes. How has that been? Were you ready
actually,
for that? Or
I felt like I was probably more ready than I was, like how I felt in my mind. I really didn't know what to expect. So I definitely bulk stocked up because I was like, I have no clue what I'm going to need and I don't want to accidentally run out or whatever.
Yeah.
And it really has worked out perfect. So, and I have this really awesome system where I don't really have to do a lot of my own bookings if people just go to my website and they can book online and do anything that way. And if they have questions, they'll message me, which works out perfect. So I have an assistant in a way, which is my booking system. And
what booking system are you using?
I use Gloss Genius.
Okay.
So
I know you, so you researched, I'm sure, and got like feedback from everyone. Oh yeah. So are you happy with that platform?
I love it. It really works out perfectly because they have a whole like texting confirmation set up that I didn't even have to, like, I just had to say, yes, I wanted it. Like, that was really it. They have email confirmations if I wanted, and they do all kinds of reminder texts, and they do everything that I want it to, exactly how I want it laid out. And I was able to put the services in how I wanted them put in. So I didn't have to just do prompts that they had or anything like that. And I don't have to have multiple systems to get my business going.
Yeah.
It does my checkouts, it does my booking, it does my inventory, it does my scheduling, whatever.
That's so nice.
I didn't have to get multiple things to just get one job done.
Yeah.
So it worked out perfectly, really.
That's so awesome. And so have you noticed like an influx of people messaging you?
I really have, which has been awesome. And a lot of them have been referrals too. Like, even though Instagram is huge and it is a big marketing platform and your online magazine or whatever you want to call it. And I've still gotten some just from looking up stylists on Instagram, but I've gotten a lot of referrals just from people that have come in that I had before. It's like they're more excited to send their friends to me now, which has been super interesting. I was just like, oh, why didn't you do this 2 years ago? Like, I wonder if they feel more connected because they like have you one-on-one. I wonder if they just like feel more connected and they feel like, I actually haven't thought about that until right now, but I wonder if they're more like, well, I'm supporting Melody. This is going to her, as opposed to like, I go here to this salon. Exactly. And that's, I mean, I feel like that's, they've actually shared a lot of that with me too. I had a couple that were just like, this space is all for me. I feel like I can say more, do whatever, like, and I'm all yours and you're all mine. Like, I'm not being passed around or whatever. And it doesn't feel like I have to watch what I say as much. Yeah. We just might have to shut the door for a few conversations and it works out fine. So they have loved it because they feel like it's more relaxing for them. It doesn't feel as loud and busy and whatever else that it felt like. It's just like, oh, this is my me time. Yeah. So, and they're able to have that, or I can play a podcast for them if they want to, or we can play whatever kind of music that they want instead of just listening to
Are you like taking notes on that, like on that app you're using? Like, are you taking notes of like what each one wants and like that's
I'm able to leave like all their formulas in there and any notes if I have a hard time remembering, which honestly now I feel like I'm having a better time remembering who all is sitting in my chair because I'm better with recognizing names, but then I can't put a face to it. Yeah. So now it's like, oh, I remember who that is exactly. Yeah. Versus before, I was like, oh my word, I don't know who you are, and I don't know, but I've seen you before apparently. Yeah. So it's just stuff like that.
So are you like pretty fully booked? Like, what is are you doing more like, are you working more or less at this point? Like,
I'm actually working less. Okay. But I'm making more being able to do that. So I work 3 to 4 days a week, but I'll work 2 12-hour shifts and then I'll work like a 6-hour shift. Yeah. And then I'm done. So I would rather, if I'm there, I'd rather just be there and get it out of the way and then have more days off in between instead of doing like 5 8-hour shifts or whatever. I'm able to space out my time and get more things done during the week and whatever. So it has been amazing being able to control that and do that. And if I need time off, I can take it and don't have to ask anybody. Right. So it's been awesome. But yeah, so I've been able to work less and also have more quality time with each client, being able to schedule them how I want them scheduled and do that sort of thing.
Yeah. So you're not double booking yet. Like you don't have
I do.
You do. Okay. Okay.
It really depends on who it is.
Okay.
Like I don't really like to double book and never have liked to double book with blondes at all.
Yeah.
I would rather have my whole focus on them because they're all so very different. But if they have a root touch up or gray coverage, I'll throw another gray coverage in between them, or I'll throw a haircut in between them, or things like that, because I'm able to pass it around much easier versus someone with doing blondes or balayage or anything like that.
It sounds like you're in a much calmer place. Like it sounds like, and not only for like a control, like not only because like you get to make your schedule and all of that stuff, but it just sounds like everything's flowing a little smoother, like a little more calm.
It really is. It's a breath of fresh air.
I was going to say, do you feel that? Like, did you
really do.
After you got everything set up? Because I'm sure there was time of like, I'm nervous. Will I be able to fill my books? Am I going to have a week where I don't have anyone? Like, what's going to happen? I'm sure once that all worked out, then you were probably like, oh, okay, I can.
I've got my flow now, because there at first I was just trying to merge everyone where they were. And then I didn't really have a set schedule at the time, because I was just like, okay, this is where you were, and let's just keep you there and make it easy and do whatever. And now it's calmed down and we're after the holidays, and I'm like, oh wait, this is what it's like. And it's perfect. So it does feel like a breath of fresh air, and it's just a different kind of stress. But a good stress.
I was going to say, it's more of a responsibility of like, okay, this is mine, and I am the one that has to be there or show up. Or if you get sick or something, like you're the one that has to contact. But I still think that like you having that control, there's something to be said for that. And I think that, you know, if you are the type of person that is a go-getter, because like we always say this, like this situation is not for everybody, but you're a self-motivator. Like you can totally be like, I'm good and I know what I'm doing and I know what I still need. So one of the things that we talk about all the time is, you know, education in the salons. So I know that you just got certified through Masters of Balayage.
I did.
So you are officially certified with them, and you're offering like hair extensions and stuff too. So you're also doing that as well. So you're Bellami certified. But you were certified before.
I've been certified 3 years now through Bellami.
That's awesome. So how many, like, what is your main service that you're offering?
A lot of highlights and balayage. And my next one would probably be extensions. Like I've probably got maybe 20 extension clients that are filtering through. But yeah, so I'd say mostly blondes.
Like that is
or in dimensional color, like that sort of thing. So that's definitely been my focus, and I love doing it because I could do the same thing on 6 different people and it's going to come out completely different.
So
on every
keeps
single
you like interested and entertained a little bit.
Absolutely.
That's so exciting. I love that. And do you have any other like certifications or like education planning that you like want to do, where you're like, okay, this is like, did you feel like when you left you saw yourself lacking in anything, or are you like, no, I'm still like good and on track?
I felt like I still knew a lot, like I was not really falling behind, if that makes sense, but I definitely was curious to what else was out there and if I was missing something. So I've been doing some research about other online education and other places that I could easily travel to do like in-person education with really cool artists that I follow on Instagram or whatever. And there's a lot out there. You just have to look for it.
Well, I think that people, this is actually a new thing that I've noticed, and this is definitely, I don't know if I want to say because of COVID or it just all happened like at that time, but so many more people are even just like offering their own classes, like going out. I see people, I see salons. If I follow them on Instagram, they're like, their people are going out teaching classes in different areas. So it's definitely becoming more popular to share education and information.
Exactly.
And so I think it's easy to find, but it's kind of figuring out like what you still need.
What you need and who kind of would fit the mold of either what you're looking for or what you would like to learn more about. Or if you're really good at it already, but you just want their perspective. Like it's really just depends on what you're looking for. Like I would love to take more cutting classes and that sort of thing and be more intricate with that sort of detail, because I'm fine doing them and I love doing them, but it's definitely not my focus. So I would like to dip more into stuff like that too, and just be a jack of all trades.
So that's probably what you're going to do next, is more like cutting stuff. So walk me through what the Masters of Balayage process was like for you to get certified. So I know you said that was online. So
it was all online, and it's a 12-week program, so 3 months, but you're actually able to do it at your own pace. You're just going to be able to complete it within 3 months if you want to. So I started it last June, and it technically took me about 6 months to finish because I just finished it in January, but there was a lot going on and holidays were busy, and here we are. So I was just like, you know what? I like that I could put it off there for a second, and now I can pick it back up. But it kept popping up as an ad, really, I guess, from other stuff I had researched because, your phones listen to you.
Yes.
So it just kept popping up. So then I looked further into it, and it wasn't really that bad of a price either for all that they were going to be able to offer you. And they have this thing called their online library where they continually put out continuing education and new videos each week that you have access to. And once you've completed the course, you're a lifetime student and don't have to pay that price again. So I have access to it for life.
Wow.
And they will continue to put stuff out each week. So it was well worth it. And at the very beginning, they tell you all the supplies that you need, mannequins, where to get them. If you don't have certain color brushes, the ones that they recommend, the products they recommend, the lighteners, the foils,
That's
whatever.
Awesome.
So they were able to do all of that and have that laid out for you. And if you already had it, then you're good.
Yeah.
I didn't have the mannequin heads and that sort of thing. But I was able to get exactly what they recommended so that I was able to do exactly how they wanted it.
Right.
So, but once I got all of that and I started week 1, I just had to watch their videos for that week and then apply it to the mannequin or on a live model. They really didn't care. But live model or mannequin, take a picture of the final outcome and then post it to their feed that is separate for this continuing education platform.
Yeah.
And then basically get graded on it. They just want to make sure you're actually doing the work.
Right.
So, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And there's a few quizzes and tests throughout, like once you do a few different things and just to kind of make sure you're paying attention.
Yeah.
But honestly, it was super easy and it was really a neat perspective. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your hair journey, if you're in school still or just out of it, 10 years into it, whatever. I feel like it's good for anybody. So it was really,
awesome.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's so fun. And I think that you've already, because I asked you before we started recording, but I was like, so what are you doing for education? Because that's always my first thing. And I think it's so awesome that you, of course, already had an answer. Like, well, actually, I've already done this.
Yeah.
Of course, because you're Melody. And of course, you're already on it. But do you think that and you might already be doing this, but do you have an education budget? Do you have an idea of in a year, what you want to kind of spend on education or how much?
I don't put really what I want to spend on it. I look into maybe what would give me the most value. And if that class happens to cost $2,400, then I will put that money aside to do that if I feel like it's going to help me push along. Yeah. Again, this course that I took, it was $300. Yeah. So it was very low and I would have paid more for it if I needed to. Yeah. But that's just what it was. So it was super easy and I had some different add-ons that I could add to it too, which was really cool. Yeah. But I don't really have a set budget per se. It's more of, okay, this person is costing this much or this one's doing this much and they're kind of the same thing. So where can I get more benefit from it or what else are they offering or whatever else? And if I end up wanting to take both, then I will.
So what is your dream class? If you could go take, snap your fingers, be there tomorrow, take a class with anyone.
I would love to see Dom hair. Yeah. So I love watching his videos and he makes...
Where is he from?
California.
Okay.
So I'm hey, I don't know if I'll get out there, but I would love to see one of his classes and sit in on it. And he does such amazing, intricate cuts and styling. And so I just really am impressed by him with how he's able to his soft, blunt bobs, essentially. I'm yeah, that is blunt, but that is soft. It's two opposite things. But exactly. It's two very opposite, contradicting things, but it makes sense. And it's just, I love watching him. And I will just waste time on Instagram for hours just looking at his videos. So that's probably
you're learning and getting inspiration. So it's not wasting time.
Yes.
That's me on TikTok watching videos that have nothing to do with anything. It's just nothing. It's
I just spent 2 hours doing that.
Yes.
Oops, do I continue or should I turn it off?
So usually what happens with me is at the end of the night, I'll start scrolling and then Mark will start talking or something. And I'll be oh yeah, I've just been laying here watching, it's zone out so easy. But I feel I don't know, it's important to do that sometimes.
I agree.
So you are working on that. Are you still promoting a lot or are you I can't really take new clients? Where are you at with that?
I am still taking new clients. Okay. I mean, I admire stylists that say they can't take anymore. I just don't really know how you get to that point, in my opinion. But I love those that can't. Like, if that works for them, that's awesome. But I would love to continue to see new faces. So I'm still seeing new clients and really anyone that just wants to come in. There are certain things that I'm like, maybe not. I don't think I could do your hair. I had someone ask for the very 90s chunky Kelly Clarkson highlights, and in my mind, I just couldn't do it. I was like, I'm sorry, but maybe you should try someone else. So there are certain things I just don't think my mind could.
Was that interaction over Instagram? Okay, and so so this person like sent a photo. So you it sounds like you handled that perfectly. So she sent it, and then you were like, what?
She was very direct, and she goes, I've been doing at-home box color for this long, and I just want to know how long it would take me to have bright red and white blonde and black chunky 90s highlights. Like, she said that word for word. And I was like, it's really hard to say, given you've been doing that a long time. I can't guarantee your hair would be white, or that we could even get it light enough for the red to show up. We could do the dark, probably, but you wouldn't have those big dimensional, whatever, that contrast that you're looking for. I was like, so it might take a few visits, and it might take a little bit longer than you would expect. And so really it just depends until we get you in here and can see how your hair reacts. She goes, well, I want it done in one visit. And I was like, I can't guarantee that, unfortunately. It was like, but maybe if you look around and ask some other people and see what they think, and maybe they can give you a better answer than I can. And that was really how we ended it, because I was like, someone else might be up for the challenge, and I'm not. So it's just,
I think that's so perfect. And I also think, like, sometimes people feel this pressure, like they have to take every well, especially like when you're out on your own, like that you feel this pressure, like I have to get every person because that's my but like you might have saved yourself not only like a hard process and not being able to satisfy a customer's needs, but like also like
the
maybe
headache.
Yes, exactly. And I think that that's such an important message to be like, it's okay.
It's okay to say
no to things that you're not comfortable doing. And I think that honesty is sometimes hard. Especially because you're like, with the business, it's money, right? But I think like it's so good to be able to just say like, this isn't, and I think what you said is perfect. Like, check with some other people and see what they think. And then maybe she found that person and it ended up working out. But
she said, okay, thank you. She wasn't mad. She was totally okay.
Were you nervous sending that, or were you like,
no. I have honestly, even someone sitting in my chair have turned them away. So I guess I've grown a backbone to it. So through a screen is even easier versus to their face. But there are just some, you have to be so honest with them, and they would prefer your honesty any day. And my thing too is I would much rather them be upset with me before I've touched their hair versus be upset with me after I've touched their hair and not given them what they wanted. And then I'm either out the product, or I need to do an adjustment or whatever. And I'm just like, it's not worth it. It's really not. And I think when you also have a full enough book as well, that you know that you are financially okay turning people away, that it's comfortable doing that. I think it's totally awesome if you want to take everything that comes through the door, but when you have that kind of set schedule or whatever, and that set clientele to an extent, you are able to be a little bit more picky about what sits in your chair.
You don't have a salon telling you, no, you have to do this. Like, that's the other thing too, is like you're able to have that freedom to say like, no, this is what I want to do right now. So that's awesome. I know this is like, you've only been in the salon for like a minute, or in your suite for a minute, but do you think a salon is anything that you would ever want to go back to? Or do you think honestly, like opening a salon is everything?
Opening one would be my goal. Like I already was thinking of my next 5-year plan. Like, this was not really on my agenda for this coming year, really. I was thinking of it within the next year or so to be doing what I'm doing already. But I'm thinking my 5-year plan, or whatever that might be, that I would love to have more of a storefront kind of thing. And I would probably do more of the booth rent side, like have people booth rent from me, and they can still take control of their own schedule. Because that's something I've realized, that I don't really want to be in control of their schedule per se. I want them to be able to feel like they have that flexibility if they have kids, or if they have family out of town and they need to go travel to see them, or whatever the case may be. I would love to have that kind of atmosphere for stylists that are looking for it, essentially. So
I think that's where it's going anyways. Like, I think that like I think the industry is just changing so much that is kind of the next step, is to have some hybrid. I don't, know that it is going to continue on this trajectory of just people leaving all the time. You know, like you can't sustain that way.
Yeah.
So I think exactly what you're saying. I think all of us want more of a work-life balance or, you know, whatever we're trying to figure out what we're doing here. I don't think anybody wants to be just like working behind the chair, and it's hard on your body. And so that's another thing too. It's like you're giving yourself time to like recover from your 12-hour days, you know? Exactly. So I think that that's really important. So what is your schedule right now? What days are you working?
So I work Mondays 8 to 6. Okay. Wednesdays 8 to 8. I'm off on Tuesdays. Okay. I work every other Thursday 8 to 2. I work every Friday 8 to 3, and I work every other Saturday 8 to 2. That's so my Thursdays and Saturdays alternate. Yeah. So I'm always 4 days, like one way or the other. But
how weird was it when you had a Saturday off?
Honestly, it felt great. Yeah. Like, and I was like, I can do whatever it is or blah, blah,
you
blah.
You feel like normal because like the rest of the world is off on Saturdays. Yes. So I feel like you end up being
exactly.
Like,
and I feel like I can go do stuff with my sister or my boyfriend or whatever. I'm like, oh, hey, we're all off. We can go do something. Yeah. Like that's a thing we can do.
That's so nice. Because what's his schedule?
So he is Monday through Friday, like, it's like 10 or 11 to 8-ish.
Like okay.
He's like later. He's still a 9 to 5, if you will, but just later. He later,
like music industry. Is that normal for Nashville? Is like
apparently.
Not okay. Yeah, you're like I don't know, but I think
he
for this
keeps
situation,
saying that. He always says you want his side of like music industry or something. And I was like, I don't think so. So you can do that. So.
Yeah. Have you been able to get any like clients like from him? Like with you doing extensions and stuff like that? Is he like
gives everyone my card?
Oh my gosh,
he's the sweetest little supporter. He carries a whole bunch of them. He's like, you want one of her cards? Aww. He was giving his sister one. I was like, she has me on Instagram. Like, I don't think that she needs it. He goes,
his sister.
She can have it anyway. So he's just handing them out all the time.
So he's been like supportive of you all the time in this situation.
Oh yeah, he loves it.
So good. That's awesome. Well, Melody, I'm so happy. I'm so excited for you, and I'm so glad we got to catch up.
I know. Again,
I know. I really like joke. I post on my Instagram story. It's like we just keep booking Nashville so I can like
just
see
for
you.
Me. Exactly. I'm that important.
Exactly. And where can we follow you?
You can find me on Instagram at hairby_melc.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Make sure you follow Beauty and Style Network and follow me at Beauty School Bobbi. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video so you don't miss an episode, and we will see you next time, guys. Bye.